makes you become attractive to somebody who didn't see you attractive before. So.
I would like not to be a part of this conversation anymore.
Why? It's just honestly, it's just how men and women. It's just how I think about those kind of interactions. It's how I generalize it.
Got it.
As I finish my full cup of Cavassier.
I mean, me and my cranberry and tequila. we are living life over here at what time? 9:15 a.m. Everybody.
Exactly.
So, please use this. Use this if our family members say we really want you to get help. This is
this is gonna be the point of reference.
This is evidence. No, everybody's safe and healthy. We also have water. I'm the one eating breakfast.
It's okay. It's Saturday. There are no rules on Saturday.
I didn't know that.
And we're still
pandemic. The world is ending. There's no guidelines to this.
Yes,
we're winging the hell out of it.
No.
I'm grateful for this conversation. Do you think that we need to make a turn? Is there ever even an option to make a turn from the whole work wife, work husband narrative where you can say, well, I mean, I'd be like, that's the homie all the time.
Right.
That feels more comfortable to me. And then it's a boundary that I'm setting between that person and I don't know. I think my approach is different. Like, I don't like people having any type of power over me. So I don't like, even like I said to the homeboy that we would go out to Applebee's or Chili's once a month. I wouldn't let him pay. Like no, because I feel like there's a tally in your head, bro. Yeah. And then I'm gonna be minding my business, getting some paper out the closet, and you gonna brush up against me, and I'm gonna have to break your nose. And I don't.
And we now know.
Stop it, Phil. It's too new. It is too new. I hear sirens in my head. I'm waiting to be cuffed. Apparently, I'm not going to jail, but I'm scared.
Jen's going to edit this part out, right?
Yeah. I think that we should be able to get to a point where we can have extended conversations with people of the opposite sex without it being a thing. But I think that where it gets blurred, maybe people don't need titles. When I talk about people, I just say their name. So if every other instance of life we're trying to take away people's titles, people don't need to be work husband, work wife. I mean, shit, even sometimes when you call somebody your best friend, your other friends get offended. So titles, people put too much behind them. If everyone just lets go and lets guide and stops worrying about titles, I think it would probably be a lot easier to then just say, this is the person at work who I connect with I connect with the most. I connect with on a different level. And this is the person at work who, when I'm having a bad day, they do have my ear because everybody else is getting on my fucking nerves. So let me just ping you real quick and let you know so that I can get my shit off and then go on about the rest of this 8-hour shift that I'm pulling over here.
But do you really think that do you really think that society can separate the fact of not placing titles? Because, I mean, even from a young age when we're younger and, you know, even like with my daughter, like I'll joke and she has like her really close friend that lives across the street is a boy and I'll joke and call him Corey and Topanga. Like, I think that like as a society, it's kind of hard to, with me, even though I get it because a lot of my friends are males, but I think that people have this thing, or we're just wired to think that men and women can't be friends. And I think it's for us to say that it's easy to not maybe place a title on it. I don't think it's easy for a lot of other people because naturally to them, men and women cannot just be friends.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. I mean, I just actually, my wife knew I was a flirt, but flirting kind of creates a friendship, creates some kind of a bond, some kind of a friendship. As long as because men are typically in control of how every situation goes. I don't know why we are. And probably because we're hunters. we're in control of how every situation goes. So we actually just had a conversation the other day about Instagram and the fact that I told her, I said, I talk to a lot of girls on Instagram in my DMs, like, period. But we have a lot of different conversations, but they're not with the goal in mind of me trying to see them or be with them or do anything to them. But we have explicit conversations and we have intimate type of conversation just around how they think versus how we think and stuff like. So I do that as a practice just because I'm just wired that way to do that. But in the concept of this conversation, just going back to everything you guys have told me about your experiences, it seems like a lot of your experiences have been with guys that you weren't necessarily attracted to. Have you guys, or can you guys think back to a time where you were pursued? It seemed like Shanice, last time you were pursued by somebody you were attracted to, you married him on the job.
He's a great man. He's a great man.
You see how that worked?
He's a great man. He's a man of valor. He has integrity. He's very intelligent. He comes from a strong bloodline.
Right.
He's a great worker and a provider.
All that, right?
Yes, all of that. He's also light skinned though. So all of that. But also
you see how that works?
Deception.
But see, in that scenario, you were receiving of the hunting. So that same mindset is how certain men go into that.
But you want to know what? I already wanted to be hunted. That was the difference. Like I already had the 411, and then I decided myself that I was also game for this. But yeah, to your point, I accepted the hunt. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing.
I would 12 years later.
I would challenge you all to
12 years later.
Yeah, that's a long time. Congratulations on that too. But I would actually challenge you all at some point in your
Man, go on and log out. Man, we need you to log out.
For the new folks. Shanice's husband is my cousin, baby bro. Like, I got his back. He don't do no wrong.
Now she got carried away.
He can't do no wrong.
No.
Okay. I gotta pull her to the side just like the me mom, okay? Because I tell her. This is your fault.
I would challenge you all at some point in your just to gain a different perspective and to realize how things work. If you don't think it's dangerous enough to do it, to find or be accepting of somebody's friendship who you are attracted to and try to keep it strictly professional. It's not gonna work, right?
Well, I know in this current job it ain't gonna happen because ain't nobody there.
Right. So you're in a different.
I can find some friends, but you're right.
It's different. So now you kind of see the struggles that we go to. If you're constantly attracted to a bigger pool of people than you guys are attracted to, you can see the difficulty that a man would have in keeping certain things platonic versus, toe dipping, as we would call it, just kind of dipping your toe in the water to kind of see what would happen if maybe one day you open your mind up to the possibilities of me and you doing X, Y, and Z.
So really, you guys are the hunter. If you don't want to be hunted, it don't matter anyway.
Say it again.
So really, I say, even though you I'm just trying to understand. This is me talking out loud, but really to myself. But so you said men are the hunters. Heard that before. I understand it. But how Shanice said, she wanted to be hunted. Mm-hmm. So really, men control the situation, but not really. If I don't want to be hunted, it's dead in the water.
Well, if he doesn't express that to you, you never have a reason to shut anything down. So he does, in fact, control the situation. If he never presents his attraction level to you and try to take things further, there's no reason for you to shut anything down.
Y'all really think y'all that incognito?
No, because a lot of guys aren't.
Especially now.
I don't want to say deceptive, but they're not strategic enough to not hold their heart on their sleeve. And some guys, if they want you, they gotta make it known because that's just how they are. But some guys could want you and never say anything to you about it. There's a very select few of men who can actually do that, and I don't know. It's just a different
learning a lot here.
classification of men. Like I actually take pride on, and that's just a guilty pleasure of mine on proving people wrong. So I could actually engage in a conversation or engage in some interaction with a female who would be like, all right, well, he probably gonna try to hit, and I never try, and I never take the conversation that way. And for whatever reason, that's a guilty pleasure of mine. I don't know. I mean, it's just basically cultivating friendships, and I'm fine with that. I like to bounce different things off of different people to get different perspectives on things. So, but there's certain women who don't know me from a can of paint that I may talk to on Instagram that are just waiting for that other shoe to drop and it never drops.
I think that's dangerous.
It's definitely dangerous. But
that's wildly dangerous.
It's definitely dangerous.
Because if a shoe is dangling, that shit's gonna drop. Like what?
Yeah, man.
And you're gonna be like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, no, men are only as faithful as their options.
You said so much by not saying that.
Yeah, men are only as faithful as their options.
I'm just saying.
But it's just a certain mentality you got to take to know that. I mean, you're able to do that kind of. It's just power. Just like you talked about earlier, power as far as him paying for your Applebee's date and expecting things in return. There's a power in doing something and not expecting something and not capitalizing on that expectation. So there's power in if he were to pay for your date and him to expect you to, expect him to come on to you, but he never does. There's a certain power in that. And that's the kind of power that I...
So now you're telling me no way that I approach inter-office relationships with male counterparts is okay. Because either way, I'm being plotted on by power. There's power in him paying for lunch, or there's power in him knowing that you won't let him pay for lunch. Like, so much power. I don't like niggas. The end.
I don't like niggas, and it should not be the conclusion for what I'm saying.
According to our relationship expert, Phil, I don't like niggas, and I'm fine.
No, it's all about who you want. If the guy paying you don't have any interest in,
I just think that it's an unfair dynamic either way. Like, I think that it's definitely a dangerous space.
And it's dangerous because you guys work together, or it's dangerous because you're not interested, but you're still having interactions?
No. I think that the idea of a work wife and a work husband is a dangerous space because there is no way that... No, I'm not going to say that there's no way. Again, rom-coms, romantic comedies will show you that at some point there will be a bit of confusion from one or both parties as to how the relationship should proceed. Mm-hmm. And that causes a cute kerfuffle in the movie, but in real life it can be damaging to someone's career trajectory, damaging to someone's actual relationship, damaging to someone's reputation. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't get that back, and as quickly as you could get it back in a 90-minute movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I think especially for a woman, it's completely different. Like, a man, again, like you said, men are hunters, and a man can be like, oh, well, that's just his nature. That's how niggas do. And
boys will be
a woman is just like, girl, what were you thinking? So now you're just going to sleep your way to the top. Like, no matter what way it is, it's so much work. And the way we speak about how us as Black people have to do so much in order to, so much studying of the outside and so much protecting of ourselves and so much code switching. If you break it down to even a more close level for women, as Black women, we have to do additional work with, the way our bodies are shaped and our curves, and we can't lean a certain way, or, we have to even adjust. Like, my walk in the office is different from my walk when I'm out. I gotta make sure I step differently because that back end moves differently if I'm walking a certain way. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's very, very difficult to navigate those type of relationships. So I don't think there's a